வணக்கம் மக்களே, நான் உங்கள் கனகவேல். சரி, இந்த வீடியோவில் நம்ம என்ன பார்க்குறோம் அப்படின்னா 2022ஓட KTM ADV 390. ஆமாங்க, எஸ், திஸ் இஸ் த 2022 வேரியண்ட் ஆஃப் த ADV 390. அதோட ரிவ்யூ தான் இன்றைக்கி பார்க்குறோம். ஸோ லெட்ஸ் see what this bike has to offer. What is special now வந்து it's all about the modes and the features it's got. So இதில் வந்து there's a lot of things to go over. இதில் வந்து it's currently on street ride, வந்து street, ABS வந்து road mode இருக்குது, and manual, and the motor traction control is on. It's very soft, and even if you try to whack open, எங்கேயாவது கொஞ்சம் traction கம்மியாக இருக்க மாதிரி இடத்துல இருந்தால் vehicle doesn't let you go. 6,000 like limits restrict meter மட்டும் தான் it shows like that. But ஆனால் வந்து I will definitely, it's not possible for me to explore with this mode. So off-road mode போயிட்டு I'm gonna set that mode. So I'm into off-road mode now. Okay, இதில் கொஞ்சம் பெட்டராக போகுது. இதில் கொஞ்சம் பெட்டராக ஓப்பன் ஆகுது வண்டி, பட் ஐம் நாட் சேயிங் திஸ் த பெஸ்ட். ஸ்வீட் ஸ்பாட்டும் இட்ஸ் நாட் ஸோ. அந்த ஏபிஎஸ், ஓ மை காட், ஏபிஎஸ் வந்து லிட்ரலி இட்ஸ் ஸோ ஸ்பாஞ்சி. த பிரேக்ஸ் ஆர் ஸோ ஸ்பாஞ்சி. இட்ஸ் I'm kind of confused. See, they have given a adjustable clutch lever and the brake lever. Clutch lever feels kind of wacky and fragile, and power wise it's not amusing. Seriously, I had a lot of hopes for this bike. It had so much manual traction control, ABS, multiple ABS mode like off-road ABS and road ABS and no ABS and so many things, and power variation. It's not great. Switch controls feels very stuck up, and it's a throttle one day, it's a ride by wire control, not even a cable operated. It's not even direct. I can't even feel the throttle to be direct. I have to be band open all the time. The vehicle is very rough. சரி, இது பிரேக்கின் ஆகலன்னு வச்சுக்கலாம். இந்த வண்டி பிரேக்கின் ஆகல, ஸோ இட்ஸ் டேக்கிங் திஸ் டைம் and all that. But it's too much. I think it's too much restricted. This is a complete shock for me. என்னோட ரிவ்யூஸ் உங்களை பற்றி உங்கள் எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும். It's very unscripted and it will be raw. This is the open statement. If this is a very new bike, it's not smooth, it's very restricted. It feels like it's going everywhere, but I'm not so convinced with the power delivery. Switch consoles also feel very bad. Very disappointing, very different. The bike feels very awkward. நான் எதாவது தப்பு பண்ணுறேன்னா இல்லைனா? Everything is in right position. They even gave a nice feature. If you wanted to adjust, you cannot adjust the throttle cable. So you have to adjust the mount. So this is a mount stopper here. So that's a nice feature. So you can just reverse it a little bit, so in the play you can cut. So that is one kutty smart move that is done. I think there's less interference on the off-road section. You know what, to be honest, in the first gear put in and suddenly throttle kuttana, it doesn't want to open. It restricts and turns off. This is disappointing. So I'm not okay. This is how it is. This bike doesn't want to go. Okay, maybe this is a brand new bike, so it doesn't want to go. And traction control interference is stupid. Traction control interference, something which I really don't like. This bike is literally on rails, but the power is. See, this bike is not going to spin and fall down everywhere. This is not a monstrous power. In fact, in the road mode, it feels very sluggish. Throttle response is very indirect. Braking is very sluggish. Only 50% of braking feedback I can feel. And apart from that, it doesn't want to go. It wants me to rev, but it is restricted to rev range. It feels big. It feels big. Not as big as a big bike, but it feels big. It's like stuck in between a smaller bike, a normal regular bikes, and a big bike, like probably an adventure. This is not adventure at all. This is not adventure for me, to be honest. I wanted more time on this. I wanted to show you guys the view bike. This is a new bike. I think it is restricting. The traction control is so much interference. It's got so much interference on the vehicle. Turn பண்றேன் intersectionல turn பண்றேன். Intersectionல turn பண்ணும்போது it doesn't want me to accelerate. I wanted to accelerate because I am losing kind of balance on my sense. It's interfering to that level. It's interfering to the level of sensory behavior, where you cannot ride your bike on your instincts. It has to be ridden the way it has to be ridden. They will give you the parameters and you have to ride it according to the parameters. It doesn't have to bikes are supposed to be fun, and it has to have your instincts. When the bike is closest to your instincts, when the bike sticks to your closest to your instincts, has the best ride and feel. This has zero of that. It has zero behavior on instinct. It doesn't let you go on instinct, especially with the traction control. It needs to be constantly revved or it goes off. Oh my god, this is unexpected. So much unexpected. Off-road illa. Let me try on this broken revment. It's okay. Off-road capabilities illa. It goes. It's a tourer. It's a big tourer. Tourer. It's too much on interference. This is not lively, and it's very rough. It doesn't feel more refined. Doesn't feel civilized. Feel very uncivilized. In the Mari bike, I will expect a lot of civilized behavior. This is not a Harley Davidson to have its own style of behaving. This is a KTM Adventure 290 with so much blah blah gizmos, which is really not needed. And is not happy with traffic as well. It really doesn't like lower gears. It wants higher gear constantly. First gear la enak engine idikudhu 10 la na eppadi ottradhu idha. I cannot constantly be on the radiator. The fan is always on. And in the weather is not even sunny. It's raining all over. So let me show you a few things about the bike. So these are special things I have to say. So every control comes here. So you have to navigate with your system here. Basically the menu starts trip data, ride mode, motorcycle and settings. So settings la poningana ungaloda favorite la neenga choose panikalam, and all that things you can restrict, limit, language and extra functions. So you go into the motorcycle. This has traction control, which doesn't want to turn off, and it has ABS, which will change from road mode or off-road mode. So you have two ABS modes. So you have the ride mode, which is street mode and off-road mode. So your power and ABS interference is changing அது வந்து ஒரு விஷயம். ஸோ இட் ஹாஸ் 2 ரைட் மோட்ஸ் and you have a trip data, trip 1, trip 2 and warnings அதெல்லாம் you can set. So this is how it is. So in the navigation feature is very easy. உங்கள் மைண்டில் டக்குன்னு it sets in, so it's much nicer to use. But the switch controls is not so nice to use, so that is one thing. And it has a WP inverted shock absorbers, but it doesn't have adjustable shock absorbers. Other features unde pathina, it has a 12-volt socket, but if it is on USB it would have been much more. Sorry, now I am into the bike's mode setting because it's very sluggish for me for that setup. So quick shifter is on, okay, and ABS road off-road, I'm going for off-road. I don't like the feedback of the ABS. Manual traction control off. I don't like, it's not choosing. It's how do I choose? Either select out there. Manual traction control. I cannot turn off the traction control. Why? It's not turning off for some reason. Saying there is a complication I wanted to tell you. Every single time you wanted to go off the traction, that means you wanted to turn off the traction mode, you have a procedure. So if I கேட்டு கன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணிக்கிட்டேன். So you go to motorcycles, then you go to the traction control, just like that. Off பண்ணோன்னா it will not turn off. So you press and hold this, so it just says that. அதுக்கப்புறம் you open the throttle and release, then you release. So you put on the kill switch, then you long press and hold, quick the throttle, release, it switches off. ஆனால் இதில் ஒரு சிக்கல் இருக்குது. இப்போ இதில் நீங்கள் என்ஜினை ஆன் பண்ணிவிட்டு then you try to switch it on, it goes back to on. ஸோ நீங்கள் இப்போ என்ன பண்ணணும்னா you have to do it again, set, release, and then it switches every single time, and the bike has to be on. My God. So the bike has to be on every single time, and then it goes. The throttle is tuned really soft compared to what an aggressive bike can be. The engine can be very aggressive, that is, everybody knows that, but they've really detuned it. So I have turned off the traction now. Now I am going on to ride mode. I'm going to ABS off-road. I'm going to off-road mode. So throttle close பண்ணாதான் you will change modes. அதாவது your throttle has to be on close position to change modes. Throttle இருக்கும்போது on the fly you cannot change. It has to roll down the throttle, and then it will change modes. Now it's got no traction control. Maximum manual traction control is off. It's on off-road ABS and off-road ride mode. So இதில் என்ன பண்ணுதுன்னு பார்க்கலாம். At least 120, come on baby, go. 130, another stretch. It's out of breath. To be honest, it's out of breath. 50 gear it was out of breath. I mean, it doesn't have the torque to pull. The third, fourth, fifth, it has that mid-range power. It doesn't need traction control. It doesn't need so much modes. Okay, ABS control is very much appreciated, but the brake feedback is not the greatest of the brake feedbacks. So I'm actually taking this bike out on second run after setting up the ABS issue, because I didn't know how to, so not the ABS issue but the traction control. Appreciate பண்ற மாதிரி it doesn't have much to say from me. I appreciate the bike to be live, like the old Duke 390, really aggressive monsters. They used to growl. Even the Dominars, for that sake, the old Dominars, they can go fast. This bike has really disappointed me in a lot of ways. It's not meant for traffic. It's not meant for a lot of city control. It's okay, highway maybe is good, I don't know, I'm not really testing it on highway, but maybe. And off-road I won't suggest this bike. Honestly, the suspension is really hard on setup. Brakes are very like 50% feedback. Even with all the options controlled and off, it doesn't want it to do much. It raises up, but Nana, it doesn't open.